Good morning and welcome to Wednesday of Lakewood's Next Daily Devotions. My name is Scott and we are spending the week mainly talking about the kingdom of God. I'm going to read to you from Matthew chapter 13, and it says this. We're going to talk about the way that Jesus would teach within the kingdom of God. It says, all these things Jesus said to the crowds in parables. Indeed, he said nothing to them without a parable. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables, and I will utter what has been hidden since the foundation of the world. So as we talk today about the kingdom of God, we talk a little bit about the way that Jesus would teach, and we're going to learn some things that I think are important for us to understand about the truth and the teachings of Jesus. Jesus taught in a unique way. These parables that he would teach in, they were unique. They were a unique, very simple way of teaching. And his teaching was very much like the passage we read yesterday, where he talked about that the kingdom of God was like leaven that was mixed among flour and dough, and it would work its way throughout the dough. That's exactly what Jesus' parables will do for us as we absorb them. We take them in, and what begins to happen is they begin to work their way throughout our lives, and the teaching begins to work its way throughout us. Jesus would teach in a way that would sneak up on you, if you will. Simple stories with supernatural truth, with supernatural power. These stories were subtle, if you will, but those simple, subtle stories would get inside of you and they would begin to grow. And at some point, it would just kind of explode in your mind and heart, and you would begin to receive revelation from it. That's the way Jesus taught. And there's something there for us to take from that, the idea that we need to get Jesus' words inside of us as much as we possibly can, because once they get inside of us, something begins to happen. That truth, that teaching begins to work its way throughout our mind and heart. But we also learn about this idea of parables that not everybody is going to get it. Not everybody's going to understand it. It's not just information. Jesus' teachings are not just information, it's revelation. And revelation, I don't mean the book of Revelation, but I mean just the teaching of Jesus is revelation. And revelation is not for everyone. So I want to just share with you for a moment or two today before I wrap up today to talk to you about this, to talk about how blessed you are if you have received any revelation from God whatsoever. Have you received any revelation? Do you understand Jesus? Do you understand anything about Jesus or about his teaching? I want you to know today that there's really nothing that you did for that to happen, but it's the grace of God. It's the grace of God that you would understand anything about Jesus. And I want to encourage you today that if you understand anything about Jesus, though none of us understand everything, but if you understand anything about Jesus, you should thank him. You should thank God that you have received this level of revelation to understand the gospel and to understand Jesus. If you understand his word at all, you need to thank him, because not everyone does. And again, that's not because of anything you and I have done. We're not special, if you will. This is not something for you and I to develop pride about. We should just develop gratefulness that for whatever reason that you and I have received some level of revelation about who Jesus is and about the gospel. So today, thank God that you know something about Jesus.